Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Thomas Was Alone. The program was a failure. People forgot about this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas AT23612. Wasn't special. It was just an AI. Oh.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
I love the narration voice in this game. It's very, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So if you haven't seen this game before, it is an indie puzzle game. You play...
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
You have to figure out these little puzzles.
1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
So before we move on to the next room, so you are a little AI square. You're a program. Basically, the program was abandoned, and the AI is gained almost a sort of a sentience, and you have to solve your way through these puzzles. And there's a narrator who tells you about things going on in the background. Look at that lighting, everything. This game is awesome. It's very simple, but it looks beautiful, and you really get attached to the characters too. I've only played a little of it before, so we'll see how far we get. Floor 3.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump. It would.
Oh, sorry, narrator. Didn't mean to skip you there.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
Oh, so I guess we have to jump from the top there. Here we are.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted.
Oh.
It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Yeah, seriously. Especially if...
He was starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Nah. Paranoia.
Yeah,
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
except this is to the left, but, you know. There we go, up and to the right. I guess predominantly, yeah.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
Speak for yourself, mate. I got this.
It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
I'll have to look up who does the narration for this game, because his voice is fantastic. I could listen to it all day. Pass through respawn points.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Well, I'll try not to, mate.
He made another mental note.
Water, not good. I believe it dissolves you.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
Yeah, I forget exactly when this game was released, but I know that Rithian of the Yogscast played it. That was back during Christmas, I think. Yeah, you could get the game in the Yogscast Humble Bundle. Maybe last year? Somewhere around then.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
Oh, come on. There we go. Ugh. There we are. And door. So now I believe we're getting I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts. More than one AI was bound to be saw in an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. The little error changed everything. During an AI's emergence event.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
So now we have to work together.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times.
So each AI has its own.
Well, not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Yeah, so you've got to work together now to get through the world. Each AI has its own separate set of skills. Thomas is a very good jumper. Chris is a bit heavier, but he's smaller. Smaller? He's smaller, so he fits through smaller spaces. I'm Sean Connery. It was a terrible Sean Connery accent. But yeah, so he can fit through smaller places than Thomas can. Here we are, line you up, and then we'll get Thomas to his door. Hup, hup. Here we are. Boink.
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Ah.
Great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Oh, this is gonna be tedious. Hup, hup. There we are. Oof.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Ugh. Come here, Thomas. Chris is a very sassy AI. Yeah. Oh, are we gonna have to jump across that? Oh, there we go. That was easy enough. Nope. Oh, overshot it. Come on, king of jumping puzzles. There we go. Oof. It's going to be a long level.
Stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
There we go. Oh. Sorry, Chris. Oh. There's just little bits dissolving. Here we go. Boing, boing. Oh. Looks like Thomas has to go the long way round. Yep. 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 No. There we are. Sorry, Thomas. Oop. Yoink. Oh, we get someone new.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
John, of course, is tall. How are we gonna do that? This one's hard. I have to get both of them on the square. Eek! Ugh. Alright. Let's get you right to the edge there. There we go. There we are. Nailed it.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things. Where'd they come from, anyway?
So we have John, Christopher, and Thomas. Little rectangles that all have their own personalities.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done.
Thanks, John.
John decided to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies.
John's very...
You could tell from the sympathetic expression he practiced in the mirror all these years.
John's very egocentric from his height. One of those things that people make fun of tall people for. But, you know, not all tall people are like that. Alright, John, carry us with you. There we go. Gotta get each one of them separately. Hang on. Darn it, I've trapped Thomas over here. And I need him to help Chris get across. Come on, Chris. There we go. Alright, come on, Thomas. Oh, no. You need John. There we go. Yoink. 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 Level 1.9. Nothing from the narrator? There we go.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Oh dear. I think I've messed it up. Yes, I did. Can we restart that level? Yeah, we gotta restart the level. Okay. That was awkward. Well, here we go. Here. So stay up
John was happy to
and
keep
go
helping.
here.
He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
There we are. Perfect. Hup, hup, hup. How to do this one? Hup, hup. Okay, no, great. There we go. Hop. Perfect. Oh. Yep. Whew. Oh, sorry, Chris. Looks like you're gonna need Thomas's help for all of these stairs. There we go. Whew. This is going to be fun and tedious.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Yay! Yep. Oh, sorry, John. You'll just have to wait. There we go. Woof. Yep.
The angry orange one was less immediately likeable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
I like Christopher. Sounds like someone I could be friends with. Of course, cynical people are funny. Woof. This level has taken quite a long time. Ugh. Oh boy, we're gonna need John. Up you get. Oh, now I gotta do that whole thing all over again. There we go. Nailed it. Woof. That level took a while. But here we are on 1.10.
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing. John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph. Maybe that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive. John liked the thought. He decided to keep
John, you're rude. So we need to get Chris in here. And then we get John there. And then we get Thomas here. Perfect.